595 delegates up for grabs for Republicans. They break down into open, closed, winner-take-all, and proportional delegates. And here to explain all that is political pollster and partner at Maslansky and Partners, Lee Carter. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
So we were just sitting here talking about, who do we think is going to win? And you said, in terms of Donald Trump, what do you think will happen?
I don't think he's stoppable at this point. I think the only state he's going to lose today is Texas.
And so why is that? Why can't the numbers add up for anyone else? Let's talk about Texas, first of all. 155 delegates there.
I think the numbers can't add up for anybody else because the anti-Trump vote is split between 4 other candidates. If you looked at what would happen if just Kasich dropped out of the race, and most Kasich votes I think would go to Rubio, he would end up beating Trump in many states, but it's just split between these other 4 candidates. Cruz and Rubio are sort of neck and neck everywhere outside of Texas, and then you've got these 7%, 9% on Carson and Kasich, and it's really going to make it impossible for anyone besides Trump to win.
What about after Super Tuesday, if someone drops out? But we know that Kasich and Rubio will at least try to stay in until March 15th to hit their home states.
That's right. I think if Carson dropping out isn't going to be enough. If Kasich drops out, then we're going to start to see those votes going to Rubio, and he'll have a real chance. And those states then become winner-take-all. So he could really end up taking a lot of votes. Winner-take-all states, it's important to understand the difference between proportional.
Explain that to people at home, because I know they're going to hear this a lot today. So open, first of all, open and closed. What's that?
Open and closed, we've got the difference between whether or not you have to register or not, and whether you have to be there, how you have to handle that. The proportional issue is one that I think is really important for folks to understand, because this is different since 2014. Used to be, if you won all the delegates. Now, if you don't win 50% or more, then you have a proportional allocation of delegates. So when you're looking at the polls and you're seeing a third between Rubio, Cruz, and Trump, what you're going to end up seeing is that they could end up, even if you have a big victory, you could end up almost going home with equal delegates. And
that's significant when you talk about Texas, specifically for Cruz and the number of delegates there.
That is really significant, because if that's the only state he's going to win, and it looks like he's not going to win by a big enough margin to take all the delegates, he could end up going with just a third, especially if Rubio performs better than expected. Because if Rubio gets more than 20% of the votes, right now he's projected to only get 17 or 18%, but that's close. So if he gets more than 20%, they could divide these a third, and that's not a big victory.
Or could it be split just between Cruz and Trump?
It could, and that could happen if Rubio does not get 20% of those votes.
All right, just finally, very quickly, because we have to wrap up. The winner take all is obvious. The winner takes all.
Right. Winner takes all. Then you take all the votes, and that's what's going to start happening after March 15th.
All right. Thank you so much, Lee.
Great. Thank you.
We appreciate being here as always.